This episode of Okay, But Did You Know features discussion surrounding hoarding. If this is an episode that you don't wish to listen to, we completely understand and welcome you back in the next episode.
Hi, friends. I'm Katie.
And I'm Lauren. And welcome to Okay, But Did You Know? A podcast where we talk about the TV and media that we love with a friend who's never seen it before.
Today, we're recapping and chatting about Bob's Burgers, Season 8, Episode 5, Thanks-Hoarding, and Episodes 6 and 7, The Bleakening. We always start off with our synopsis, so we've got Thanks-Hoarding. Bob is getting ready for Thanksgiving and ends up agreeing to help Teddy prepare for his own family gathering. So the Belcher family visits Teddy at his apartment to help him prepare. While Bob helps Teddy in the kitchen, Linda and the kids help set up the living room. Only they don't listen to Teddy's wishes and find his dining room is filled with things he has collected over time. He isn't happy when he finds out they've not only gone into the forbidden room, but started cleaning it out. They help Teddy to process his emotions surrounding the items and even get a large dumpster to throw everything away. His family ends up rescheduling and he struggles with getting rid of everything, leading him to bringing a few items back into the house. And Bob finds redemption in cooking a second Thanksgiving dinner at Teddy's after getting to attempt spatchcocking the turkey. I stand with Bob. Spatchcocking's fun.
I can imagine. I wasn't a big fan of Linda getting turkey juice in the face.
No, and I mean, I don't know if wine was the answer, but it was a choice.
I mean, it's alcohol. It's gonna sterilize,
it's alcohol.
Sterilize something.
For some, it's a great choice.
It's true.
But we always start off with our puns. What did you get for the vacant storefront?
We lather together family soaps.
Yep.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. And then the pest control truck.
Mashed potato bugs pest control.
No, it makes me think of bugs in my mashed potatoes, and I don't like it.
No, I'm good.
And there is a burger.
We had one burger, yes. It was the Catch Me If You Cran burger served with cranberry sauce. And I can confirm, I watched this on my computer monitor instead of my TV because I wasn't really in the mood to like bend over my TV since I still don't have a couch. And I can confirm that watching it on my computer it's easier to read the cramped lettering. Like I know we did see the board from head on, but at first we saw it kind of like sidelong and I could still read the served with cranberry sauce, which on the TV I would not have been able to.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I only have a few handful of facts, which is okay because we have a lot to go over in today's episode. So that's okay. So the beginning will probably be a little bit shorter than the back end of this episode just because we watched the Bleakening. So the phrase Wampua pops up in this episode. Wampua is recurring iconic phrase of the show Archer, where H. John Benjamin voices the lead. So they like to pull things in from Archer because of H. John Benjamin.
She reminded me of Wumbo.
Yeah. This episode has the smallest cast of any Bob's Burgers episode with only 6 main cast members voicing characters. This also makes it the first episode not to have any guest voices.
Interesting.
Which is crazy because we're in season 8. That's a lot of episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And when Louise points out that a gasoline tank in Teddy's closet is full of penny, Gene states he is also full of them. Gene mentions eating 2 pennies in the itty ditty bitty committee. Or itty bitty ditty committee. I can say that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines.
I think I also have 5. Yep, 5.
They might be some of the same.
We'll find out.
Who's going first?
I'll go first. Most people would be turned on by a new brine.
That's and most people would be turned on by a new bride. I wrote only me and you, Bob.
Yes, correct.
Show us exactly where you want your guests to be underwhelmed.
I also, in the being filled with pennies, I have it's filled with pennies. So am I. You don't hear me bragging about it.
You're mistaking lust for love.
Should we call a doctor or a TV show?
Why does he need 5 plungers? For different moods.
The back is a festive beige.
Oh my god, I'm having a brain smart.
And then, so also the confusing lust with love. Teddy, I had the beginning of it. Teddy, does this love you? Yes. Wrong.
So, I do want to point out that, this is an interesting episode because hoarding it's a mental illness.
Yes.
It's very serious. And I get what they're doing. They're trying to. I like that it gives some people representation and seeing themselves, but it's also Teddy struggling with those emotions. So I'm like, ooh, yeah. I don't know how do people process that when they see this if they deal with something like this. But I can't speak for them because I don't have those issues. I have other issues which are my own issues to deal with. So, but I do appreciate that they gave a different representation, but also what Linda and the family did was the wrong way of going about that entirely.
By making him throw everything out, absolutely. That's not the way to do it.
Like, stop watching Hoarders and get him a therapist.
Yes.
There are professionals that help with this.
I know as for us, like in the bookish community, there's like a lot of like the joke of like having a lot of books because you never know when you're going to want to read this book someday. But it's like, it's not the same thing. We don't have some other underlying emotion that's forcing us to hold on to these things. It's more, I think, a case of, well, I paid money for it. I don't want to throw it out.
Yeah.
Usually.
And that's why apps like Pango and stuff like that exist, because then we're like, okay, I don't want this anymore. I can list it on Pango, Mercari. I can take it up to, used bookstores like Second and
libraries
Charles and
will take
trade it in. You can donate to libraries. You can go on a free little library trip and put them in free little libraries. Like, there's so many different things you can do. That's why I never feel bad about having a large book collection, even though I consider myself more of like on the minimalist side of things, because we don't have a lot of stuff. We have a lot of books, we have a lot of Lego, and we have a lot of Funkos, but that's about where that ends.
Yeah, for if people do want to donate books places, check with your local library, because a lot don't take donations from the public. And sometimes they only take donations during certain periods, but please do not donate books to your library just to get them out of your house, especially if they're not in the best condition, because libraries are not dumpsters. Like, someone has to go through them and process them. So like, if you're going to be donating to your libraries, make sure they're at least somewhat in good condition. Like,
cause my librarian friend, they've been weaning their books recently, and I got to go in the back and see just how many it was. That's what happens when you're at your library every single week. They just know you. I'm also the person today that literally one of the employees at my local my grocery store I go to every week, they were training a new cashier, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I look up and I'm like, "Dude, you're good." And the lady training him just goes, "They're a regular. You're fine." In a grocery store.
Well, when I was weeding through my collection that I have, when I was looking to see if I can get rid of stuff so I'm not moving as many books that I'm not going to read.
Yes.
I have a friend who used to work at the children's department of our library. She now has a new job. But so I sent her like a bunch of the pictures, like, well, here's the books I have. What do you think the library wants? I sent her these pictures of at least like 10 to 15 books. She took one.
Oh, wow.
But like, because like a lot of what I was offering they already had, or wasn't anything that they were going to be needing. But the one that I did offer her, she told me the other day, she's like, so I read it, I started reading it. It's not good. I went, no, it's not. Like, it's a book that I've tried reading multiple times.
I feel like they kind of did it right for Teddy in this, though, of having the emotions of when you've grown up that way and you feel like you're the fixer, you can end up with emotions like that of like, he's a handyman, so of course he's going to find things that need to be fixed. But it explains, we get odd Teddy backstory.
It was Teddy
that we
lore.
Didn't expect to have. It was Teddy. We got Teddy lore, which is few and far between, I feel. We see him all the time, but only so much of it is like pertaining to his own history other than Denise. And
as I was going to say, I feel like a lot of the Teddy lore that we get is almost always played off for comedy, like the boat, like the costume stuff. Like, it's backstory, but it's played off as something more humorous. This is actually like very like emotional. Like, this gives us a lot of insight into why he feels like he always needs to be fixing things to feel necessary or to feel needed.
And it brought some understanding to why people hoard, because many people hoard for many reasons, and his is a very good reason. As to, he feels like he can fix everything. So I feel like it did help him some. He did get rid of some things. Linda did push a little bit more than she should have. But it's also a start for a process, because if you're similar to Teddy and someone just starts coming into your house that cares about you, starts throwing things away, you could feel a lot of emotions around it, but it is a first step of trying to get help. Yeah. So I do enjoy that aspect, but then at the same time, I'm like, I did not enjoy it all that much.
Yeah, like, it was ultimately like, my score is actually like, it's fairly high, quite frankly. I think because of how they ultimately went about helping him work through the emotions. But like, and there was parts of it that this was definitely still a quintessential Bob's Burgers Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
What's funny is I wrote down, why is the animation of Bob rubbing the turkey so graphic? Because
it is very graphic. He's like really getting in there, and you can hear the noises.
It was very graphic. But what's funny is like, I wrote that down, and then immediately after, cause in between watching the Bob's episodes and the Once episode, I did some prep for dinner. I didn't make dinner because I would have like gotten out of like the podcast
Yeah.
groove, but I was making chicken pot pie soup, which part of that is requiring me to break down an entire rotisserie chicken.
Which I love.
So after writing down why is it so graphic, I then took a whole chicken out of my fridge and broke it down with my hands. So it's a little different,
like Bob,
but
than
like
you realized.
well, it's just faster. Like because there's really no point like because once I get everything off of the bone, chopping it up is just dirtying my knife for no reason. Because like rotisserie chickens are usually pretty tender. You just rip it apart.
Yeah, they really rip apart easily. We don't eat a ton of meat right now, but like I have had to make an entire turkey and all the things. I think I did I spatchcock? I don't know. I was really drunk that Thanksgiving, but I might have spatchcocked that turkey. I don't remember. But there was a lot of whiskey involved and a fryer not working. And then they bought another fryer that also didn't work. And so after I finished making all of Thanksgiving, I had to suddenly make a turkey because they didn't get the turkey cooked.
I was gonna say, because were they trying to put a spatchcocked turkey in the fryer? Because I feel like it has to be
so
because I feel like that had to be huge.
Half my family got sick that year, so it was just an awkward Thanksgiving, anyways, because so many people were at home instead. But I did everything except for the turkey. So I did every dish except for the turkey, which is kind of what I do now, anyways, just because I like food that tastes good. And my dad just didn't realize that the fryer he had a hole in it. And though he went and grabbed a different one that he had, that one also ended up having a hole in it. So after it'd been over an hour since I had actually finished making Thanksgiving dinner, and they're like, "We need to cook the turkey." And I looked at them like, "Do you know how long it takes to roast a turkey?"
A long time.
It takes a long time. Horrible Thanksgiving. By the end of it, I was so drunk I don't remember half of it.
That sounds like most of my Thanksgivings.
Yeah. Well, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So it's okay that that's the last Thanksgiving that I don't really remember.
I realized basically from the time I turned 21 until recently, like I really did, like I spent Thanksgiving very heavily inebriated. And
I got edibles for my last Thanksgiving, and it went
so did I. So like that's what I ended up.
But my family didn't come over because my kids were sick. Yeah. so I also didn't have a family get together.
But it was. I mean, I can't do it now because now I'm going to have to drive to Thanksgiving. But back then, it was where I lived, so I could just kind of hang out and do whatever. And like I did have like a drink or two here and there, but because I had the edibles, I like didn't feel the need to drink as heavily, and I enjoyed myself far better and didn't like pass out before dessert, which had happened before.
Not gonna lie, I think my food came out better while I was high cooking than it did in previous years. So
maybe your taste buds were enhanced.
But I mean, well, Steven doesn't ever really tell me if something tastes bad. He says all my food tastes good. So I can't really use my husband as a unit of measure.
He's not a good barometer for that.
He's not. He loves food, and apparently I make good food.
Yeah.
So
Bob telling Teddy to grab something, but it ended up being a spatula. It just gave me the vibes of, all right, Patrick, put your hand on the lid. Like, Patrick, that's a pickle. Like,
and I'm not surprised. Like Teddy eats lunch at Bob's Burgers every day. He follows burger blogs. He does not cook.
No, he does not.
So I was not surprised that he was acting so inept when it came to like, I don't know what to do. It's like, we know Teddy.
His ability to immediately mess up the Post-it notes.
Immediately,
like who's surprised? The answer is no one. And like but the fact that Bob there's like we can save things, like this is not your personal validation, because this was like the first Thanksgiving that Bob didn't go insane that we've seen.
He was disappointed with his first set of food,
but ultimately
I think it was only because he had spatchcocking in the back of his mind
and his brine.
The brine.
He likes his brine a little too much.
I mean, a good brine does a lot. Okay.
I mean, I'm sure it does. I'll admit, I have dry brine stuff before cooking it, like where you just kind of like put salt on it and let it sit for a while.
A wet brine is just known to give a soft, more tender meat after it. Like, but a salt brine, you've got to have more time for it to really sink in. And it, like, because I know dry brines, sometimes you can just do those overnight and you're good to go. But like a good salt brine, you want it really to be in there for a while. I say as I almost never cook meat anymore. Yeah, right. Like I think I planned some more meat meals this week just because Steven hasn't had much lately. I made a mistake a little while ago. Like I could still cook meat. I'm still great at it. I made pork chops tonight that I was told were amazing. So there you go. But then again, are you really going to insult the woman who's cooking all your meals? So
probably not.
I've had my own cooking. I'm a fairly good cook.
Yeah.
I can toot my own horn on that one thing.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm getting better. I'm definitely
When
getting
you
better
send
with
me
my
some of the
skills.
things, it looks amazing.
I can follow recipes, or at the very least follow them as guidance when I can do my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not tonight, probably not. I was going to do it tonight, but now I think I'm going to be too hungry. I was going to try and make croutons. I'm going to do that tomorrow.
Well, that's the great thing about croutons. It just takes dried bread.
It's literally just coat them in butter and put them in the air fryer. That's basically all that it is.
It's super easy.
Maybe I'll do that for lunch tomorrow. Ooh, that's actually not a bad idea.
That's a great idea.
I'll do that for lunch tomorrow. But like I say, I'm definitely getting better. And the chicken pot pie soup that I made last night, I had to double check like some like the ratios and stuff. But for the most part, that's one of those. That's one of the few recipes that I make that I generally don't need a recipe for. It's and I also don't make it. I definitely don't make it the way you're supposed to, but it comes out good anyway because I don't do like the really like the correct mirepoix. I leave out the celery because I just there's no point in buying a whole thing of celery because like they don't sell it in like small enough amounts.
I mean, you could go for like a Cajun style.
I do it I just leave out the celery essentially. And instead of cooking the carrots with the onion, I just when I get the bag of frozen mixed vegetables, that's what it calls for. It calls for frozen peas and frozen corn. So I get a bag of frozen mixed vegetables that's peas, corn, string beans, and carrots.
That's a good mixture.
So we do that instead towards the end. But I just cook the onions and the garlic first, and then you start adding in like the butter and the flour for the roux. You add in the half and half and the chicken stock. Let the seasonings, let that cook for a little bit. An entire rotisserie chicken, your frozen vegetables, seasoned, done.
Have you had chicken and dumplings?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, you'd be a big fan of,
Yeah.
This is the things you like to cook or eat. Chicken and dumplings is one of my favorite things. I need something similar. Maybe I can make some seitan or something to like mimic the chicken, but maybe. I definitely there's plenty of ways to do it. It looks really fun to actually make it because like it's got steps, you get to use your hands a lot, and it's literally just made out of gluten.
Fair.
So which other people can't eat, but
not
I
good
definitely
for people
can.
with celiac. Not good for people with celiac.
Yeah, don't make seitan if you can't have gluten because it's pure gluten. What did you rate this one?
So I gave it 8s for plot and character and a 9 for personal. It's got a 25.
Wow. So I also gave 8s for plot and character, but I only gave a 5 for personal because it's not my favorite. Like, I mean, it is what it is. It's just not my favorite, but it is a good episode. It's not one I would skip. So it's a 21 for me. So it's not that bad. Like,
not at all.
Oh, we've always said over 20 is still. All right. So the Bleakening, I have the synopsis. It is for the entire 2-part episode because when this did first air, it aired fully as the hour, of course, but with like Hulu and things like that, it splits it up into 2 because that's how they do that.
Because they're wrong.
Because they are wrong. They're very wrong. I would much prefer if they just kept it at like, because it makes our season uneven, so to speak. So we have to like really actually talk about these 2 episodes together because splitting this up would just be asinine.
You're going to hear me talk about this again in the next Once episode because I'm still mad about it.
Yep. I love that it's happening right around the same time for us, though, in each of our shows. It's kind of fun.
Perfect.
It's perfect. It's not on the same week, though, which is better.
No, it's definitely better because then instead of making it just a week of complaining about this, it makes it 2 weeks of complaining about this.
Which we love to do. But here is the Bleakening. In this Christmas special, Linda dreams of having the perfect Christmas party in town and decides they'll throw the party that day in the restaurant. The family also finds out that the local gay club, the Wiggle Room, is being demolished, leading to Linda cutting off the top of their Christmas tree and using it as a decoration for her party. Only someone steals the mini tree during the party, so Linda begins the search for the culprit. Meanwhile, Teddy tells the kids the story of the Bleaken, so the kids decide they're going to catch the Christmas monster so he can't steal their presents. When Sergeant Bosco comes to investigate the missing tree, he mentions people's decorations are coming up missing all over town. The kids go on the hunt for the Bleaken while their parents search for their mini tree. When the kids end up out at night, Tina secretly calls her parents and they all meet while hunting the Bleaken. Instead of finding the Bleaken, they find an underground gay Christmas party where the stolen decorations, including Linda's tree, are being used. Art, the artist, admits to stealing Christmas decorations, and there happens to be a man dressed kind of like the Bleaken. Linda also admits to the crowd that she called the cops, so Bob dresses up as the Bleaken and gets the cops to chase after him, saving the epic Christmas party. So, of course, there are no puns, but there are burgers.
There are. There was 2.
There are, well, technically.
There was 2, and then the first time we see the board, it says "Happy Last Minute Neighborhood Holiday Party." That doesn't count.
It does.
I did write that down, but it doesn't count. There was the Ebenezer Blues Burger.
Yes.
I hate saying that.
It's so good, though.
So
I just don't like blue cheese, but like...
Yeah, it's blue cheese is just not good. And the "'Twas the Nut Before Christmas" burger comes with a walnut aioli, and then I went, oh, that's a really unfortunate burger name.
It really is, but ironically, so originally in the full-length version, they only had the Ebenezer burger. They added "'Twas the Nut Before Christmas" once they split it up into 2 episodes. So in the original full length, it was only the one burger. They added the other one back in for when they had to split it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I know. When I found out, I was like, wait a minute, what?
I'm conflicted now.
So did you happen to figure out who the artist is voiced by?
He said it's so familiar. I have no idea, and I'm sure you're going to tell me, and I'll be like, "That okay, that makes sense." I have no idea.
Well, I did not know until I did my notes. Okay. I did not know until I did my research, because I've never... Keep in mind, I've been watching this show forever. I didn't even find out until yesterday. It's Adam Driver.
Holy crap.
When I was watching it and I figured it out, I yelled out to Steven. I'm just like, do you know who voiced him? He goes, no.
Kylo Ren. Ren stole the
Kylo Ren is a nudist.
Kylo Ren stole the Christmas tree.
I just found out Kylo Ren is a nudist. And he's just like, wait a minute, what? Oh, so he plays Art the artist who poses nude within the Bleakening for the art class and sings his little song, but it's fucking Adam Driver.
Mm-hmm.
Kylo Ren. So if that doesn't make the episode better, like
I kind of hate it. I'll be quite honest.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, did you also happen to pick up who plays Miss Triple Xmas?
No, I did not.
So that's Todrick Hall.
Oh, okay.
Gained attention on the 9th season of American Idol, and of course has been on RuPaul's Drag Race. Mm-hmm. So I loved this so much. Actually, it's one of our favorite songs. It's on my Christmas playlist for the holiday season. Like
as it should be.
As it should be. It's such a good song. But all the songs are like these are on the Christmas. These are always listened to around that time of year.
Yep.
But we do know that this episode originally aired as an hour-long episode. It was later edited into 2 episodes with unique credits and with some scenes edited and cut that was briefly made available on Hulu and Fox Now in January 2018 before the hour-long version was restored on these services. As of November 2018, the individual parts are on Hulu and the hour-long version is no longer available, but it is on iTunes. So you can buy it if you want the full hour-long version.
Oh, it's too much effort.
But that's too much effort. I'm not spending money on an episode of TV that technically is just fine watching the TV version.
That's not worth it.
The title continues the series of episodes titled with the ending, from the Deepening, World War II, the Warfening, the Haunting. That's a trend they continue to do.
They like referencing The Shining.
They do. The script cover has the subtitle, "A Kind of Special Bob's Burgers Christmas Special." And then we get to see Dalton, not drawn in various forms. He's actually in the Bob's Burgers art style.
Yep.
Art style in this.
Yep.
Which is kind of fun after brunch squatch.
Mm-hmm.
The music featured in these episodes was recorded at the recently reopened Sound City Studios in Van Nuys, Los Angeles. Its classic album, including Nirvana's Nevermind, were recorded at the Legendary Studios. So this is actually really cool, like for music buffs. Like this was recorded in the same building as Nirvana.
What was the name of the studio?
Van Nuys, I think Noise. It's VANNUYS, separate words.
Okay,
I'm probably
that's
wrong.
I was looking that up. Van Nuys.
Van Nuys. Thank you. I would not know that from looking at those words. So thank you so much for that.
I was gonna look it up. I was like, wait a second, something doesn't sound right.
I think that's wrong. It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Yeah, it's fine.
The sign outside the restaurant advertising Linda's party says "Best holiday party ever, free sliders and eggnog," which let's not put those two together.
No, especially not when hers tastes like mouthwash.
No. Did you notice that Louise's stocking has been tampered with, presumably by herself? It has been cut in half with the 2 halves joined together with a band of material in the middle to make it longer than everybody else's.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Which means Louise cut up a stocking and sewed on more so her stocking would be bigger.
Very
and
Louise.
Then The sword held by Louise during the musical sequence is modeled very closely to the Atlantean sword used by the character from the 1982 film Conan the Barbarian.
Okay.
The EDM songs being played at the rave were produced by house and techno DJ Cesar Cardoza, aka Robert Download Jr.
Like it.
When Teddy is outside setting up the blow-up Santa, one of the people who walks by is the DEA agent from Bob Fires the Kids who buys blueberries from Tina. And in this, Marshmallow does state that she's 23 years old. But sadly, this is the last appearance of Marshmallow in the series until season 14 season premiere.
Oh, wow.
And it is the last time where she is voiced by her original voice actor, David Herman.
Okay.
Which I say is a good thing. I'm
Yes.
very sad we don't get her till season 14, but I've already told you when she does return in season 14, she is voiced by a actor.
Yes.
Trans person. I don't know.
Actor, I mean, I tend to use actor as the gender neutral.
Is both, right? So
Yeah.
trans actor. We'll go with that. I was like, wait a minute. Maybe make sure I've got things right here, which you understand.
Yes.
But I wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lines.
I think
This
I
is
might
2
also-
episodes technically.
I might also have 10 lines. Hang on.
Which, once again, I'm sure we'll have plenty that are the same.
Yep, I also have 10.
All right. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Bros before city codes.
I do have that one.
Okay.
Are those no underwear? They're nice.
She's circumcising our tree.
I had a dream Dad had a ponytail. Should we do that instead?
Yeah, you rap like a drunk blind bear. That's how I live.
It tastes like mouthwash with eggs in it.
Protect us, Lord Santa.
I say call back, and this time you hang up. I say call back, and this time you hang up on them.
See, those dogs are playing. To the death.
I want the ornaments from when they were young and cute, not now.
Who's got the most scared butt? Mom's got the most fierce butt. Thank you, Jean. But Dad's is the most lived in.
I thought only Wile E. Coyote could do that, or Banksy.
I did like that one. Whoa, a secret staircase inside a staircase. It's an architectural turducken.
That's great, Dad. Great for morale. Keep it up.
Hey everyone, DJ Elevate here. That's spelled with the number 8. And this is asinine with the number 9.
I have that one, and then I have one more. We gotta keep going. It's like IKEA. We can't go back.
Oh, go play ping pong with your ding dong. I got one more.
Okay, go ahead.
And to think I gave you drugs.
The IKEA one got me though, because I did actually go through IKEA not entirely backwards the other day, but I didn't go the right way to there's a sign that said the shortcut to the market hall, so you don't have to go through the entire showroom.
They have shortcuts through.
Yeah, because
IKEA.
I went to go pick up. I literally went to pick up 4 mixing bowls, and then I just needed to go back to the self-service area and get the bookshelf I wanted. And so unfortunately for me, the kitchen is the front part of the market hall, and instead of doing the smart thing of backtracking to the staircase, and I should have gone up to the showroom, and then I think I had to go over, and then I would have gone down a different set of stairs. That's probably what it meant for me to do.
Because I'm sure they're all built similar.
Yeah, so instead on the main floor where you exit, I just kept going to the right, because I'm like, this is the floor that I'm going to be on, so why should I go to a different floor? And then I
love IKEA. That's why I'm only allowed to go so many times a year.
So, but I went through the self-service area and into the market hall, and then I did make a couple of the shortcuts I needed because I wanted to go to the kitchen area, which is the first section of the market hall in ours. Mm-hmm. So I did go through. I think ours is too. I went through much of it backwards, not all of it, but much of it. I went through it backwards, which was fun. Not the fact that I was going backwards. Not once did an employee ask me if I needed something.
Look, they're probably just trying to figure out if they're lost as well. I mean, it's IKEA. So true. Much.
It's amazing.
What did you think of the Bleakening?
I really liked the Bleakening. I like the Bleakening. I generally like the holiday episodes because there's something special about them.
They got a special sauce.
Yeah, and one thing that I kind of latched onto was when Bob says he got the kids on he got Louise's online gift registry, and I was like, I feel we've talked about the probably gift giving practices in other episodes, but I know it's the trendy thing to kind of make fun of the weird things that kids ask for, the people make the PowerPoints that are definitely fake and everything. But I don't see anything wrong with kids knowing what they want and asking for it and providing information if it's within a reasonable like
Yeah.
price range and like of what they're like it's appropriate for their age. Like I know she said like, she knows some of the big ticket items weren't taken up yet, but like that means that there was stuff on there that was age appropriate and within their price range. And like, so I said, like, so many people run themselves ragged searching for the perfect gift when the perfect gift was supplied to them, but they don't want to do that because it ruins the magic. But in my mind, the best gift you can give someone is listening to them.
Yeah. See, my little family, as aforementioned, that we don't like to have a lot of stuff. Like, yes, we have our collections. We have collections and things that I feel like retain like value.
Mm-hmm.
The Funkos, I love my husband. He has a lot of Funko Pops.
There's not a lot of value in those.
There's not a lot of value, but like he likes to collect them and he's able to stack them in a way that they don't take up a ton of space, oddly enough. I mean, he got the, what is it? The Oregon Trail one recently. It ended up being bigger than he realized, but I collect books. So, but like we also collect Lego because Lego holds its value. Like there are sets that we have that we could resell at cost and it'd be fine.
I just found out that they're retiring the giant Magic Kingdom castle at the end of this year, and my brain's now like, do I need to buy it for my birthday this year?
You might need to.
Just so I at least have it for when I'm ready to build it?
Yeah.
I might have to.
But we're very strict with our kids. We do the 5 gifts of Christmas. Something you need, something you wear, something you eat, something you want, and something else I can't think of right now. It's not the holiday time, so I'm not thinking about these things right now.
Did you say
something to read? It's always, I think so. They always get books. They get a new set of pajamas, usually on Christmas Eve, with probably a book. They always get at least something that they do actually need. Because I'm sorry, it's Christmas. This is an opportunity. We all know what it's like to be adults and go, can you please give me socks and underwear? Like, I don't want to buy these things for myself. Please give me socks and underwear. I'm in my 30s.
Yep. I'm all for it.
And then, of course, we always ask for what they want. And they do, like, their stocking gets filled with things from Santa. I don't like doing Santa, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But even with that, they know they do still get maybe a couple of things that they really do like and want, but we fill a lot of the stockings in with practical fun things that they can do. And it usually goes pretty well for us. I think we overdid it a little bit last year, but my husband also overdid it on me. Don't you ever do that again. I get to do this now because he does listen to the Bob.
Yeah, I was like, we know he listened to this one.
Please stop. Like, you can spoil me, that's okay. Just can you please just put it out for the whole year? Because I literally sat there opening present after present. I'm like, I didn't buy you this much. What are you doing? I don't do well with that. But my kids are really great about knowing exactly what they want. They do. They'll tell you flat out, well, I want this. And we're like, all right, that's great. That's communication is key. Good.
Because like as an adult now, when my mom is like, what do you want for your birthday or for Hanukkah or whatever? I would say very rarely do I say, actually, I've been thinking about this. It's generally like, I don't know. This year I did know what I wanted.
Yeah, this year you knew right away what you wanted.
This year it was a microphone.
Thanks,
I had
Mom.
plans. Thanks.
You helped me out too.
Yeah.
She really did.
She did. No, she doesn't listen to these. None of them do, which is I'm perfectly okay with that. Like my family does not consume the media that I create, and I'm quite okay with that.
Oh, same.
100% okay with that.
I'm okay if they don't ever listen to me. It's okay. You can support me from afar and be like, that's the thing my daughter does.
Yeah, I've told my mom in no uncertain terms is she ever to listen to any audiobook I ever record. Like she's welcome to buy
mine.
Yeah, maybe. It's like she's welcome
She might be able to listen to mine.
She's welcome to buy them for monetary support. Because the thing is, she buys the physical books. Because I know she doesn't read them because she mostly reads audiobooks. But like, because it's different with like when you're reading the words and then you hear me narrate them, and it's like I'm not ashamed of the content. It's just it's content that I wouldn't normally talk to my family about.
No, that's when you're in the group chat with us.
Exactly. Like for context, I write spicy romance. Like
yeah.
I don't talk to my immediate family members about my sex life. It would be weird.
Yeah, no, I don't do that either.
I'm not doing that. Like, there's people that are like that. Good for you.
But then we give each other such details.
Yeah, but then that's what the group chat's for.
So. That's what the friendship is for.
Yeah.
That's why we need adult friendships.
But I liked the Bleaken. I was like, so the Bleaken's like Krampus, basically?
Essentially. I think they just couldn't use Krampus.
Really?
Not that I know if that's any I don't think that's any copyright or anything. Maybe they're just trying to come up with something for themselves because if you think about it, the Bleaken still's present. Krampus beats children.
No, yeah, that's true. Krampus is a little more violent, but yeah, Krampus is, I think that's just a character from folklore.
I think that's
like,
just a character from
that's
folklore because
that's
it's an
definitely
American Dad. They use Krampus in American Dad.
Yeah, according to the immediate
He
overview
should
from
be.
Google, Krampus is a
Folklore.
horned anthropomorphic figure who, in Central and Eastern Alpine folkloric tradition, is said to accompany Saint Nicholas on visits to children during the night of December 5th, but Christmas, whatever. Saint Nicholas rewards well-behaved children with small gifts, while Krampus punishes badly behaved ones with birch rods.
Yeah, he beats them with birch rods. Yeah. So maybe they were just like, maybe we shouldn't do Krampus because we don't want violence.
It's a more family-friendly anti-Santa.
It really is more of like he's going to take your presents. More like a Grinch, but they can't use Grinch types.
No,
of
that's
like, the Bleaken feels like between Krampus and the Grinch.
Mm-hmm. And
I like the Bleaken.
You had the guy dressed as the Bleaken. I'm sure he had something grow 4 sizes that night.
You've been holding on to that, haven't you?
No, I came up with when you said the Grinch. I was like, that was. I'm occasionally quick-witted.
Occasionally.
I'm no Lucy Darling, but I have my moments.
So how did you like the music? You had a lot more music in this one.
There's a lot more music in this one. I really appreciated the harmonies in this with the songs for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, this is like a good like scratch itch brain harmony. I was like, this is good.
The Bleaken is gonna wish that he was never born. I've watched these episodes so many times because we will always rewatch the holiday episodes on that holiday.
Yeah.
Like my Christmas Eve yearly now has been binging Bob's Burgers Christmas episodes, and it is so much fun. Like we've been because we binge the Halloween ones too, leading up to Halloween.
Mm-hmm. No, as you should. I used to do that with the True Essence of Horror, and then there got to be too many of them. There's just
so
too
many.
It's like 35 of them now.
So which was your favorite song? Like the one with the kids? Or?
Yeah, I think I liked that one. I liked the outfit changes. I liked the transition, how they did Linda with the dress in the very first one.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It was such a well done transition. Even I know it's animation, but it's still very well done transition. But I think the kids song with the Bleak, I think that was my favorite one.
I really like. It got to me this time because before yesterday, I didn't know that Art was played by Adam Driver. So listening to him then sing kind of threw me off. I was like, it's not just like him playing this character and voicing him. He sings too. And I'm just kind of sitting here like, this has changed everything.
But
I thought I knew about this episode.
Nudity? Why is there always nudity in that art store?
I don't know. Maybe Edith just is into that, I guess. Like, I know for like an art class like that, there is like method and reason for doing this kind of art. So like it makes more sense to have like someone like Art the artist to be there to do something like that. It's more so I get more disturbed with the fact that that was her first go-to when trying to teach Bob was, all right, you want to do this? I'm going to lay out naked in front of you. And I'm like, maybe that's a little much.
Yeah. And then you had the one guy that went there just to see boobs, and he was sorely disappointed, even though he learned he liked definitely creepy. Even though he decided he liked drawing, but yeah, he definitely went there for specific reasons.
Yeah. He didn't get the boob he wanted.
No, there are times like when the Bob songs kind of remind me of Crazy X songs, like not like specific ones, but they just like they give off the same kind of, because it's the same vibe because they're essentially functioning the same way. It's a song that moves forward the plot usually, but it's almost always a parody of something.
Yeah,
generally.
Because I didn't know that, like knowing the Conan but the Barbarian sword too was kind of cute. Because I would have never realized that without going into the wiki for sure.
No, never. But the Teddy thing with the Santa, that
like it's not needed.
It's not needed. Like it's the only reason it's there is to give Bob a hiding spot when he's running away from the cops.
Even though Bob is flat out like, why couldn't we just go into your house?
Like your house is right there. Like he really could have just gone into Teddy's house. Like good on Bob though for like, for saving the underground gay bar. Because I was sad when the gay bar was, because the first one I saw, I was like, did something happen? It's like, no, they're just very
not to code. I want to know about all the seesaws thoho.
Yes, I want to know about the illegal seesaws.
The illegal seesaws.
How are? I mean, I'm just gonna say, are there seesaw building codes? I work for a company that creates manufacturing standards. Very often, some standards they create are for playground equipment. There's absolutely standards for production for seesaws.
There definitely is, and putting them in a nightclub can also be liability for many, many injuries.
Especially if
then you're mixing seesaws with alcohol.
especially if they have to be built to standards to hold adult weight.
And then on top of that, it's not just alcohol because, someone gave something to Linda at the rave.
Yeah.
I love that scene
She
so
definitely
much.
She definitely had something fun.
She had something fun that kept her awake for quite a while, and it was not wine.
No, it was not. But yeah, overall, this was an episode like I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know where anything was going. I was just kind of along for the ride because like you have the kids. Like at first I'm like, is the Bleakening real? Maybe it is. I don't really know because with this show anything is possible, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And so then you have the aspect. And honestly, to be fair, I think the giveaway that it was art the entire time probably should have been that the first entrance was a very well drawn mural.
Mm-hmm.
That should
very well.
That's the biggest hint here that it was art the entire time.
Very smart setup too. You can't find like cops aren't going to find that. Like
no, not if it's that well done.
Get out of the car. So, but no, it's such a fun episode. You never skip this one because you get to sing along with it. It's really heartfelt because Linda just wants those ornaments, which I get. My kids sometimes make ornaments, but they don't go to public school, so I don't get like yearly ones all the time, which is fine. They're with me 24/7. We're good. But it is really sweet because there's definitely, we buy them an ornament every year. Every year there's a new ornament on the tree per person. And so like it is a sweet thing of like, no, you want those ornaments because they do have sentimental value.
Yeah.
So definitely saw myself as a mother in this one with Linda's like, I'm going to find this because, I'd be really pissed off if someone took something of mine that my children made me.
Well, like our version of this is every year at Hanukkah, we break out. I mean, we do like light the candles once just because like you should.
Yeah.
But part of that is breaking out the box that also has the that have seen better days menorahs that both my brother and I made in preschool. Made out of lifesavers that have been like glued down to like pieces of wood. I think mine has held up better than his, but also mine is 4 years younger. But what's funny, so they have our names like in glitter glue, whatever. But what's funny is they're wrapped in the same newspaper that my mom wrapped them in to protect them in however many years ago. So
that's
they're wrapped
a long time ago.
So they're wrapped. They're wrapped in newspaper from like 1995 and 1999.
Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute.
It's like a time capsule every year. We pull it out like, oh, look, it still exists back in the box.
Yeah, I feel that. We have a few things like that. Like my grandmother gave me her old angel, but it was so old that one year the lights on the inside of it started burning the plastic. Like it's very old. And so I still have it, but I can't use it because I need to get like a piece of plastic to replace the old piece. Because the lights are fine. It was just such old plastic that had been burning for so long that it was like, okay, our lifespan is over. So I've got like a couple of things like from my grandmother that I have for the holiday time.
Yeah. But actually, I learned this recently because honestly, I never, not that I didn't bother to learn the difference, but I kind of just didn't until I saw a video. There's a difference between what makes a menorah like kosher and like appropriate and stuff.
Really?
Because menorah, technically speaking, it's just a thing that holds candles. But for it to be like a kosher menorah that like you can use for Hanukkah and stuff like that, to make it specifically a Hanukkah, the whatever holds the shamash needs to be distinctly different from everything else. It has to either be taller. It basically has to be slightly taller than everything else.
Oh.
So you can have like a menorah that holds 9 candles, but that wouldn't be a kosher menorah or a Hanukkah specifically because the shamash isn't raised above everything else. So like I saw this guy's video of like, let's rate these ridiculous menorahs and see if they're kosher, and like ones that look really nice, that look like very elegant, not kosher because the shamash is like it's not any different. But this one that looks like it's made out of donuts, technically kosher. Because the part for the shamash, like it doesn't matter if it doesn't have to be in the middle, it doesn't matter really where it is on either end. It just has to be taller.
Does your family have like a special menorah for every year?
We have one that I don't really know where my mom, I think it's like sterling silver. I think it might have come from my great grandmother. I don't remember. We have that one that my guess is probably
That's
not.
Really cool.
I feel like if it was one from my great grandmother, we'd try to treat it a little bit better. So we kind of just like burn the candles. Like we scrape off the excess on the outside. We don't like dig out the candle holders. We just kind of let it be, and then it gets too full. We dig it out afterwards. But
no, I feel that
we
I have
one
a
that we
candelabra
use
that I never clean out properly.
Yeah, basically, you can see if there's a menorah that like it has like 9 holes. Like
that's really interesting.
But yeah, but it can it's basically just a candelabra at that point if the shamash isn't raised.
Huh. I mean, still not going to go buy a menorah, but
no,
still,
I wouldn't
not my
recommend it.
place. No. We'll make challah. We won't or latkes. That's where we honor different cultures.
Yeah, food is
we can
different.
make the recipe. You can make recipes and eat it
Mm-hmm.
because you're honoring another culture. As long as you're not going on the internet going, ew, this is gross. Like, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like it, shut up. They don't care.
Latkes are delicious.
Yeah, latkes. Oh god, I want latkes now. It's March. I want latkes.
Technically speaking, I mean, to be fair, like you can get latkes at Jewish delis all year long.
You can get latkes at Jewish delis all the time. I don't have a Jewish deli near me.
I'm just saying, generally speaking, yes, it's traditional to make latkes around Hanukkah. However, latkes are just potato pancakes. You can make them year round. No one's gonna say anything. No one's
gonna make them now. Like
it's not
really yummy.
It's not like the kind of thing where like there's like certain foods that are only available certain times of year.
It's like king cake. You can only get it around usually Mardi Gras.
Yeah, exactly. Like latkes, you can get potatoes and onions and flour year round. Hopefully,
I have all those things in my house right now.
So do I.
Are you gonna get a menorah for your place?
What's funny is I was just thinking about it. Probably not. If anything, I'm more inclined to get a tiny electric Christmas tree.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
I think I would rather do that than a menorah.
We'll get you a menorah ornament.
There we go.
Or a dreidel.
Get a bunch of dreidels.
I'll just make a bunch of dreidels.
I'll make a garland out of dreidels.
Yes. I love this.
We're gonna do that instead. But yeah, I was like literally just thinking about that. But actually, do you want to hear what my dad's Hanukkah joke is? This has nothing to do with the episode, but it's just
yeah, I would love to.
Because my family, like we're very culturally Jewish. That's our background. Like we all understand the religion, but we all come from it from our perspective of if you pick it apart too hard, it kind of falls apart. So,
but still want to keep that culture due to
no, exactly. There's
history. I'm sure
there's a reverence that comes with knowing it too well and being able to pick it apart. But
that's the same for Christianity in many ways. There's a reason I was atheist by the age of 12.
Yeah. So the story of Hanukkah, I mean, it's the Maccabees were fighting somebody, I don't know who. This shows you how well I know. But they were trapped in the temple, and this, as the story goes, they thought they only had enough oil to light the lamp for one night, but it turns out the oil miraculously lasted for 8. So the joke that we make is that I'm not going to use the names we use because they sound vaguely offensive, but because we use like the most Jewish sounding names you can when we make this joke. So I'm just gonna say Maccabee and his wife because that's gonna be faster. So they're looking around for the oil and they can't find any. He thinks he goes into the cabinet and only sees one thing of oil, and then his wife comes in behind him and she finds 7 more pots of oil and he goes, "Oh my god, it's a miracle!" Like, yep, that's a miracle.
Oh, that's a good joke. Damn. No, I like that.
Yeah. It's a miracle.
That is one thing that spans across cultures, apparently.
It's sarcasm.
And men being clueless.
Uh-huh.
So I take it you really enjoyed The Bleakening.
I did enjoy The Bleakening. This was a good episode.
I'm very happy with that.
Yes.
What did you rate it?
It's got a 30.
Yay! 30s all around.
Hell yeah. I figured.
Because it's so good. They really, because they did a lot of special stuff around this time. Mm-hmm. I know Brunch Squatch wasn't your favorite, but it was fun and they were very good fan appreciation. And then we just have some fun episodes to continue the rest of the season. But it goes so fast.
Yeah.
But with this, our 21 episode season is still even episode because they do it wrong. Because even when you look at the wiki, it shows Bleakening and it'll show the 2 episodes on that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is meant to be just 1 hour long.
No,
episode.
exactly.
But
Hulu
I'll say hates us.
Apparently. I'll say with Smash the Mirror, it has 2 directors because each half was directed by a different director, but it has 1 set of writers. It's 1 script.
Yeah. There's no reason to split it up this way.
Nope.
But this is what we do instead because we are going to do it the way it's meant to be.
Mm-hmm. Because we are right and the streaming services are wrong.
Yes, they are.
Thank you all for listening. Join us next time when we discuss Once Upon a Time, episode 408, Smash the Mirror. Don't forget to rate, and follow the podcast wherever you listen so you can be notified every time we publish a new episode. Follow us at OBDYK_pod on Instagram and Blue Sky. And if you'd like to join our Patreon, you can find the link with more details in our show notes.
This has been an episode of Okay, But Did You Know? A TV and media podcast. It was hosted by Katie and Lauren and edited by Katie.